Hey everybody, this is a kind of a new deck that's showed up on the 5.0 list of Wizards standard, competitive deck lists. So I thought I'd give it a try. It's a Temur Dynavolt Tower deck here. And you can kind of see what Dynavolt Tower does. It's really the crux of the deck. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you get 2 energy, and then you can pay 5 energy to burn something for 3 damage and bolt it, in essence. Um, and so this deck, it runs a ton of instants and sorceries, anything that nets its card advantage and card selection, um, as well as some big threats in Torrential Gearhulk. And just kind of a lot of cheap spells that produce energy or remove things. Um, it's actually extremely powerful, and frankly, it's not even that expensive. Um, as far as standard decks go, it's much cheaper than say any black green list, or especially Saheeli Twin. Those are significantly more expensive. Um, but I guess I could just kind of go over the card choices. The lands are pretty self-explanatory, but I'll kind of go over them. Either hub produces any one of your colors. It's important to run in basically any energy deck. It's very good. Botanical Sanctum and Spire Bluff Canal, the fast lands that kind of fix for 2 colors, are extremely powerful in this deck because you basically just have to land a Dynavolt by 3, or at least be kind of removing their threats as you go about your business here. And then kind of basic lands here, and a couple man lands and Lumbering Falls. Tune with the Aether smooths out land drops, produces energy, pretty much does everything that you want it to do. It's a great card in this deck. Shock, kind of a weak spell, but that's why it's only being run as a one of. Natural Obsolescence, just kind of the one of artifact removal spell. It's important in this format. Incendiary Flow, 2 burn spells. They're sorcery speed and they exile, so they're pretty useful against some things like Scrap Heap Scrounger or other threats in standard. Pretty solid against the black-green deck as well. Harness Lightning, probably the best removal spell in the deck. With a Dynavolt Tower in play, you can kill something that's up to 5 energy, and you've almost certainly generated more energy outside of Harness Lightning, so this card is very powerful. Shielded Ether Thief is kind of a beating sometimes. It comes down and blocks something, and it lets you draw a card the following turn. It's really kind of monstrous in a deck that generates this much energy. It's quite good. Couple of counter spells and negates and 3 disallows. Some lists are running Void Shatter, which might be better, but this also kind of lets you counter Saheeli triggers or Saheeli activations and whatnot. So it's a good spell. Either way is probably fine. The differences are pretty marginal. I just had disallows and didn't want to buy Void Shatters, and I don't think it makes a huge difference. And of course, Anticipates. Rogue Refiner, also good in any blue-green energy deck. Essential to run. And 4 Glimmer of Genius produces energy, scries, and draws 2 cards. It's amazing in this deck. Does exactly what you need it to. And then, of course, Torrential Gearhulk to top it all off. This thing is an absolute monster. But of course, you probably already knew that. And let's go over the sideboard here to Confiscation Coup. Now, this is a card that's not really seen a whole ton of play. It basically lets you spend energy to steal a creature, which can be very powerful, especially with Dynavolt Towers. Not exactly sure what we're sighting it in against, but I'm kind of just running the stock list that was on the 5.0. 2 Release of Gremlins are obviously pretty insane. Dragon Master Outcast is a cool card. I've always loved this card, and it didn't really make a huge difference in standard back in the day in Alara Zen standard, but hopefully it'll have its day in the sun now. It's a pretty solid sideboard card because people really cite out their removal. They're not going to keep in a ton of removal against a deck that only has like I don't know, 3 creatures that really matter that you actually want to kill. So yeah. Um, 2 Tireless Tracker, good little side in against control. Lets you draw cards, good card. 1 more Natural Obsolescence, take out more artifacts. 2 more negates and dispels for like the Jeskai, Saheeli, and control matchups. So that's the deck. I guess I'll see you guys in the first round of the series we're gonna start. So yeah, cheers.